Allô.
Allô, bonjour, tout bien?
Bonjour.
Oh.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Leslie staying live from
Ah,
you have a good did you have a good week? Yeah. Okay. We'd love to hear from you, but we're gonna mute you right now. I'll tell you.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
You're good to go.
So I'm really happy to be here because I've been on like 2 back-to-back Herbalife vacations. I know it's a hardship, but somebody's got to do the dirty work. But we just got back from 4 days of meetings in Vancouver, a 5-day cruise to Alaska, which was off the charts. Saw whales jumping like 10 feet away from me off a float plane. I was standing out on the float, dancing every night. I picked up a few new moves from the Latino guys, and I'll demo those at the end of September when you come out. And then came home for a few days, then went to the President's Team retreat in Vail. And I had to leave early. I just couldn't take any more vacationing. So back here in Denver, excited to be back. I've really stayed in touch with what's going on with the TIP program. And congratulations, you made it to 5 weeks. Give yourselves a hand. And I remember when we got started with this, we said that it was going to take a good 90 days of consistent invites to really feel the momentum. And I know that some of you after 5 weeks are feeling maybe frustrated, and some of you are having some major breakthroughs, and some of you are starting to see some momentum. But it does take consistent, of these invitations really consistently. So keep it going. And thanks to everybody who's been so diligent in reporting and that type of thing. We have a really special guest on this week's call, being the 5th week. I thought that you would like to hear from one of our inspirations from the program. Jerry Graham is on the call, live from Vail. He's taking time out of his vacation to be on the call today. We'll hear from him in a few minutes, but I wanted to tell you a little bit about Jerry. Jerry was a professional volleyball player. He was one of Mark Addy's teammates. And I met with him this morning in Vail. I found out that he played all around the world. And so he had, a lifestyle. He was a professional athlete. And he's going to tell a little bit about his growth in Herbalife. But he just qualified for President's Team at the end of last year. And he's got I won't mention his almost fiance, but Jerry, we're really proud of you. Now, Jerry, I just talked to him and he said, do you mind if I am really direct? And I said, no, we love direct. Tell it like it is. Because he said, I've been told I'm really direct and sometimes it's difficult for people to listen to that. But we know that you can handle it, and that's, we want the truth. We want to know exactly what it takes to grow this business, because all of you, have expressed that that's what you want to do. So, Jerry, we are really appreciative of you being here. Some of you, I want to tell you a little bit about Jerry. He started a program a few months ago called TIPS, Change Your PIN, and it's a similar program to TIPS, but we're learning a lot from him on how to do this. And I asked him if he would go through some of their findings when they went throughout their program, what they discovered. Their program is 8 weeks long, and they're on the second 8-week CHIPS program. And so he's nice enough to take time from his vacation to talk to us about what the learnings that they've had from their program. And then after that, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about our big 4-day training in September, which Jerry's going to be a part of. So I wanted you to get a flavor for what you can expect from Jerry in September. So thank you again, Jerry. I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you so much, Leslie. Hey guys, how are you? I hope you guys can hear me well. Just give me the thumbs up if you can hear me okay.
Yes. Thumbs up. Whoops. No.
Days in Miami. We just got back from 5 days in Miami and had a great time down there doing the STS, and now we're sitting by the fireplace, 11,000 feet up in the mountains. It's just rough when you get to President's Team. They just send you on vacation after vacation. So you guys definitely got to get there. You know, I was talking to Leslie, and we talk quite often, but I was talking to her about this CHIPS program a few months ago. And I'm going to give you guys a little bit of my story, and then I'm going to give you mostly a little bit of background on how this CHIPS thing got started. And this isn't something to just redo your entire business. That's not the whole thing. This is something to mix in with anything else that's already working. So we had some things that were working in Southern California. We had some things that weren't working. And this was a way for us to blend in something new on top of what we were already doing. So, you know, we're up here in the mountains, and what a great place to be doing a training from. My brief story, for most of you that haven't met me, I was Mark and Jill Addy's first distributor ever in the business almost 10 years ago. And not very many people know that. I actually did the buddy system with Mark and Jill. We went supervisor on the very same day together. And for whatever reasons, you know, it was very different back then. It was much harder back then. Some of you guys were around. But I decided to quit the business. I quit on my friends. I quit on the people that I had already brought into the business. And I left Herbalife for about 4.5 years. And it was a blessing in disguise because in that 4.5 years, I found out through life that there are a lot of things that don't work, like corporate America and having different jobs and switching companies 8 different times over the course of 10 years and filing bankruptcy and on and on and on. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that happened, and we'll talk more when I come up to Colorado. But what happened is I got real clear in that 4 or 5 years what I didn't want. And at the same time, I got to start watching what was happening inside of Herbalife from an outsider's perspective. I started watching the 24 line come out, and Michael Johnson launching Healthy Active Lifestyle, and the Fit Clubs, and the nutrition clubs, and this community that we were building. All of these things started emerging, and it was very different from what I saw almost 10 years ago. So what I got from that was I got great contrast. I got that there is a new way that we can do this. There's an unstoppable way for us to do this, and it's not really based on any kind of fads or come and go kind of things. And so when I came back 5 years ago, what I got was really clear that this was something that I could do very quickly. I could plug into this system, this training, this structure, this modern day Herbalife, and I could really thrive in the environment. And 4 years and 4 months later, you know, Kimberly and I qualified for President's Team. It's not the fastest, but it's certainly not slow. And we are just getting started. Like hitting President's Team in September just gave me the confidence that we can do this. And now it's how much of this can we do? How many Pres team members can we create? How many nutrition clubs can we build? How many fit clubs and how many countries around the world can we have going on? So I'm always in the conversation of how do we make it better? How do we make it bigger? How do we enhance it? How do we make it easier for people? How do we make it so that people can go faster than us? So I'm always in the conversation with Leslie and Mark and Jill and Stefan Graziani and some very powerful leaders of how can we make this thing better? So here's what I want to say to you guys. Congratulations on being the very first people to complete your version of CHIPS, to complete your TIPS program. I do believe that a program like CHIPS and like TIPS, I do believe that this program is going to go worldwide. I think it's going to be a foundational program that anybody can do, and I think that's what's so great about it is anybody can do this program. You guys are the first ones to complete it in your area. And you're probably going to look back in years and say, I remember when we did the first one and we had 2 people that quit and there were only 30 of us that completed this thing. You guys are going to look back at this thing and say, wow, it was amazing to be in that first one. But so really congratulations for at least being willing to take this on. But I want to give you the history of how this got going. Because 10 years ago, when I first came into the business, it seemed like everybody was doing this internet system thing. It seemed like everything was leads based. It seemed like people wanted to work from their bedroom and they didn't want to go out and meet people. And it seemed like they just kind of wanted to get a supervisor here and they'd get one somewhere else and they'd get one somewhere else. And it's just long chain of events that happen. And we're really not in that kind of business anymore. We're really in a relationships-based, community-based, impact-based, health results-based, friendship-based community business now. And that's great, because that's something that anybody can do. You don't have to spend money on systems. And what I watched is a lot of people that did those internet systems years and years ago, their businesses didn't survive because they weren't willing to adopt the new things that were coming in. And the one thing that I've noticed over the 9.5 years that I've been around and the 34 years that the company has been in business, what I've noticed is that face-to-face relationships have been the one thing that has lasted forever inside of Herbalife and inside of business. If you can build face-to-face relationships with people, they will never leave. So the past 1.5 years, we got a little sidetracked. We had a lot of people doing social media. They were moving super fast. They were, getting high volume, and they were getting lots of distributors. But what we found is they weren't getting a lot of volume through relationships, and they weren't getting a lot of volume through sponsoring people that were local to them. And so they were going through, and this is a short period of time, but 1.5 years or 2 years that social media has really been thriving. They're starting to go through what the internet systems people went through 10 years ago. They're finding that it's much more difficult to sustain a relationship with somebody that's 5,000 miles away or 3,000 miles away or even 5 states away, 1,000 miles away. And so that really got me thinking, if we're going to build a foundational based business that's going to last forever, that's not going to be up and down and not going to have spikes and drops, then let's have the foundation of it be face to face. And then anything else that comes along, we'll add that in as it comes along, like social media, internet systems, things like that. We'll add it in as it comes along, but make sure that we keep the steadiness of the face-to-face model the entire time. Because my experience is I would rather have one person face-to-face that's coming into my office or my nutrition club on a weekly basis than 10 people that are 5,000 miles from me. So here's what happened for that to happen. 4 months ago at our Thursday night HOM, we have a very big group that works out of our Redondo office, but 4 months ago on a Thursday night for our HOM, our Herbalife Opportunity Meeting, we had 28 people. And that's not a lot for our organization. And of the 28 people, we had 0 guests. So we basically had 28 existing coaches that came to a Thursday night because they would have felt they were wrong if they didn't show up. And we had 0 guests. And for me, I had to really take a hard look and say, why is this happening? Why do we have a small number of coaches coming, and now why do we have 0 guests coming? And what we realized is there were 2 things going on. As social media was kind of losing its traction, we were also realizing that people were not out making relationships. They were not out making face-to-face invites. And the only reason anybody wanted to come to a Thursday night HOM was if they had a guest. If they didn't have a guest, there didn't seem to really be a reason for them to even be there. And they didn't have a vehicle to bring in a local guest, so there were no guests. Because when you get 10 new distributors on Instagram, none of them are going to come to your office because none of them are local. Does that make sense? Give me a thumbs up. You guys following me? Okay, good. I just want to make sure. Well, that's 2 thumbs up. That's great. So I kind of freaked out in that moment, and I pulled the leadership aside and I said, what is it, or what do we need to do to solve this face-to-face thing? Because once we solve this face-to-face thing, it's going to be unstoppable. So we came up with CHIPS. CHIPS stands for Change Your Pins. Everybody in our organization that works out of our nutrition club, their goal is they want to change their pins. They love the community. They love health coaching. They love the products. But ultimately, everybody wants to turn this into a full-time career. They want to shift from being a health coach into a full-time career. So as we watch social media dying out a little bit, we realized the necessity of having to build a skill of the face-to-face muscle. So that's how CHIPS got launched. And in round 1 of CHIPS, I led the program. There were 40 people that sent me an email saying why they wanted to be in CHIPS. And I replied back to all of them saying, you are in CHIPS. And it was an 8 weeks course, 1 hour every Thursday night. And the whole idea behind that 8 weeks was to bring unity to our office. That was the goal. We wanted to bring unity, and we wanted to teach people how to build the face-to-face muscle of building relationships. That's all we wanted to accomplish. And a whole bunch of things got accomplished. The first few weeks, there was some pushback. So I want to let you guys know, if you had a couple of people that have quit your TIPS program, that's normal. If you've had a couple of people that have wanted to quit, that's normal. If you guys have struggled with face-to-face invites, that's normal. If you guys have struggled with going through tribal leadership or whatever personal development you're reading in your program, that's normal. All of that stuff is normal. But here's what we started to notice after weeks 3, 4, and 5. We started noticing that everybody was doing 40, 45, 50, 55 names and numbers. Out of 40 people, 39 people did more face-to-face invites in 8 weeks than they've ever done in their Herbalife careers. We also noticed that when a couple of team members wanted to quit in weeks 3, 4, and 5, the rest of the team picked them up and wouldn't allow them to quit. Not me. I'm just one person trying to stop somebody from quitting a program. But when you have 41 people, me plus the 40 participants, all of a sudden they felt like they were part of something big and they didn't want to quit anymore. And what started showing up in weeks 3, 4, and 5 was that people got really confident that they could at least go out and talk to people and get their contact information and tell them about what we were up to. And I'm telling you guys, the confidence level for the group of 40 not only elevated to a very high level, but the other people working out of the office in the area, it started hitting them as well. They started asking, hey, can I go out with you guys and do invites? Hey, can I sit in on the tribal leadership reading? Hey, can I, be on your daily Zoom call, or can I be on your daily pod call? And so in weeks 3, 4, and 5, people learned that they could do face-to-face invites, that it wasn't scary. If they did it in teams and if they did it talking about our community and what we're up to, that they could do it. And we ended up doing 14,800 and something, 14,800 names and numbers over the course of 8 weeks with 40 people. It was unbelievable. It was really unbelievable. And so in week 6, 7, and 8, here's what started to happen. In week 6, 7 to 8, all of those 40, 45, 50 invites a week started turning into clients. It started turning into people showing up to Fit Club. It started turning into people coming in and getting wellness profiles. It started people turning in and coming in for daily memberships. And as a result, me specifically, my rolling IBPs started to go up. My amount of team members started to go up. And everybody as a group, their personal volume started to rise from the most valuable personal volume you can have. That's local personal volume. Does that make sense to you guys? So that was weeks 1 through 8 of our first round of chips. Okay, here's what's happened in our second round of chips. In our second round of chips, we already have 40 people that already did chips. So now those 40 people are actively coaching and teaching from a leadership standpoint, along with me, the other members that are in chips. This second round of chips, we have 116 people that signed up for this second round of chips. So that 40 people tripled. We went from 40 to 116 in 8 weeks. So we knew that that was working. The second thing is those second numbers. In chips, we do 50 invites a week. And we do something that's called 50 and 5 and 2. You want to have 50 names and numbers a week, which is 7 a day. You want to have 5 people coming to your events, coming to your nutrition club, coming to your wellness profiles, coming to your fit clubs, coming to your walking groups a week. And then out of that, you want 2 of those people that are interested in becoming coaches or coming to coaches' events. What we've noticed in the second round of chips, all of those 14,000 invites from before are starting to flow in. And now people have all of these people that are flowing in. And on top of that, they're continuing to exercise their face-to-face muscle. So they're just backfilling with more and more and more people. Here's what's happened it's been 14 weeks. Here's what's happened. Our Thursday night Herbalife opportunity meeting had 28 people 14 weeks ago. We talked about that. This past Thursday, we had 257. And of those 257, we had 54 brand new guests. It was unbelievable. 54 brand new guests coming into a Thursday night event. Between our Sunday Fit Club, between our Thursday night event, and our Saturday training, we had 124 people in 1 week for 3 events. And now people are going out and doing their 50 invites a week, and they've got their other people coming to events, and they've got new team members that are starting. They're teaching their new team members what they've been doing for the past 13 weeks. So now we're all speaking one language. We're all speaking the tribal leadership language. We're all trying to operate at stage 4 instead of stage 3. You guys will read about that. We've got everybody doing the same DMO. We've got everybody excited about the same DMO. We've got everybody supporting everybody because they realize if we're all doing it all the time, I'm going to go out and talk to somebody this week, and 5 weeks later, someone in CHIPS is going to go out to talk to them, and me having talked to them is going to soften the market. By the time someone has been talked to 3 or 4 or 5 times in an area, they're going to wonder what we do, and they're going to come down, guys. And everybody wins when that happens. And that's what's happening. People are getting invited 4, 5, 6, 7 times over a 2 or a 3 month period. And finally, they're like, what is this thing all about? I've got to come down. And everybody's winning because of this. And you know what? It's had us slow down a little, meaning I can go to my bedroom and get 3 clients 3,000 miles away on Instagram, but I'm probably not going to keep them. This has caused me to go out in the marketplace and talk to people, but when I get that person and they come down into the environment, they stay. Our retention levels are very high, and now the numbers are starting to rise up. So my personal numbers, 3 months ago at the STSs nationwide, I had 154 people, which is good for a president's team member. This past weekend in August, I had 257. So my numbers at the STSs have almost doubled because the STS is a training seminar to support local people. Do you guys get that? So my business is forecasting to basically double in the next few months based on what's coming on. One of the CHIPS members had 2 people at the STS 2 months ago, 13 people at the STS last month, 23 people at the STS this month. Another girl had 40 people at the STS 2 months ago. She had 3 months ago. She had 54 at the STS 2 months ago. She had 106 this month at the STS. And I'm telling you guys, if you can get people into your local hub and into your local success training seminar, the chances of them succeeding and moving up the marketing plan and sticking around goes through the roof. The retention levels are way higher. So that's really what's happened in a very short period of time. We're going to be coming up there in September and really getting into the details of what we teach and how we teach it. But I'm telling you, it's just the basics of teaching a face-to-face muscle. We now have the 116 that are in CHIPS, plus all of their downline supervisors and new people coming into the business that are just being taught. This is what we do. We go out in groups, we talk to people, we bring them to our Healthy Active Lifestyle events, and when they want to self-select themselves as a client or a wellness profile or a team member or coming to the STS, they get to self-select themselves. And our numbers are exploding because of it. It's going to take us, probably a couple more chips to really see how this thing works out, but that's basically where we're at right now. And we've had a few struggles, but not nearly as many struggles that have been caused by some of the other methods that we've tried. So, Leslie, does that make sense?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can hear you great.
Hi. So I think we can open it up for questions to our little local team here. I have a question though to get you started. I know that there's this issue of, okay, people talk to people, they get a name and a number, and then what is your process to following up? Because I think a lot of businesses falling through the cracks because of maybe lack of follow-up, and especially if you accumulate all these names. So do you have a structure that, how many times do you talk to people? What do you invite them to? And, what is the process for you to follow up and then get them, to eventually maybe become a new member or get on a program?
Okay, great. So in CHIPS, the intention isn't to be teaching highly elevated Herbalife skills. We're not going deep into BizWorks and rolling IBPs and average volume. We're not going into that stuff. We're teaching the basics because most of the people in CHIPS are supervisors, active supervisors, world team members. So we're teaching the basics. And what we're doing is we're teaching them how to invite people to the community. So we're not walking up to strangers and say, buy some products. And we're not walking up to strangers and say, join my business. We're walking up to strangers, building a relationship, a conversation, a rapport with them, and we're inviting them to the community. And it's a lot easier to invite them to the community because when they come down to the community, people in CHIPS are learning what do we say, how do we act, what do we do when people come into the community. So we're even teaching them that. Every time I bring a guest into the community understands that they all need to get into a conversation with my guest so that it's not just me talking to them. So now we have 116 people that are bringing guests down, and all 116 people are all having meaningful conversations with all these guests that come down. And it is a crazy, high energy, contagious, sticky environment that people want to come back to. And when we're out making the invites, it's not free fit club or walking group or body challenge. It's 7 good conversations a day, which is only one every 3.5 hours. 7 good conversations about your community, what you're up to, the movement. And when you get that contact information, you just let them know, hey, I'm going to be sending you out an email, or I'm going to FaceTime you, or I'm going to call you, and I'm going to be inviting you to one of our events and come down and hang out with me. And then what we have everybody do is we have everybody put their names and numbers into a tracker at the end of every day. They put their 4 names and numbers or their 5 names and numbers and just some notes about that person. Like, I met these 2 girls at Starbucks. They had fitness clothes on. They were in their mid-20s. They seemed pretty happy. I asked them if they've ever been to Fit Club. They hadn't been to Fit Club. I told them what it was. I got their email address. I told them Kimberly would be calling them because it's weird if I call them. I told them Kimberly would be calling them, inviting them to one of the group workouts. And next thing you know, they're giving us their contact number. Just like that at a Starbucks, I had 2 names and numbers from people that looked like they would fit into our Healthy Active community. I took their names and numbers, put them into my spreadsheet with some notes of them. And then now I have an ongoing database that I can always blast out if we're doing an end of month celebration, or if we're launching a new office, or if we've got extravaganza coming up. Now we've got these 14,800 names and numbers of people that are constantly still involved in the invite process into our community. So the answer to your question is, the goal is to get 5 to 7 a day, not 50 a day. And the goal is to make sure that you're tracking all of those names and numbers with some information about them other than just, email and phone number. So 7 meaningful conversations a day. Hopefully you get 5, 6, 7 good contacts about the community, and then plugging them into a tracker so you can track your progress, but you also have something to follow up with people on. Because we're getting a lot of people from our trackers in CHIPS One that are starting to come into the community now. And I'm going to give you guys all of that stuff when we come up, the trackers we use and everything.
Fantastic. Do you have a question, anybody?
Hello, Jerry. Scott. Better get
Hi, Scott.
I wanted to know, how do you incorporate your tribal leadership into your CHIPS program in terms of how much time are you allocating, what are you sharing in a group setting from the learnings there, or how are you sharing that there, please?
Okay, so the reason I get a lot of recommendations on books and personal development and videos and on and on and on. Dennis Dowdell recommended Tribal Leadership to the leadership in the Western region, and we all took it on and we read Tribal Leadership. And then we passed it down to our Pres team members and our Millionaire team members and our TAP team members, and then eventually the entire organization. So we had the entire Western region reading Tribal Leadership. Here's what makes Tribal Leadership so powerful. The distinction of stage 2, which is my life sucks, and the distinction of stage 3, I'm great and you're not, and the distinction of stage 4, we're great. If your group just gets those 3 distinctions, then they can recognize the type of people they're speaking to. It's pretty easy when you walk up to somebody and they're in stage 2 and you can tell their life sucks. But the best thing about Tribal Leadership is it's teaching our team the awareness to know when they're acting like stage 2, because they do. You get a Get team member who misses their bonus, and they're gonna the next day they're gonna say my life sucks, right? Or they lose their top team member and they're gonna say my team sucks. And now with Tribal Leadership, they're very able. Their self-awareness has been raised to where they know if they're operating in stage 2 or stage 3 or stage 4. So we have them read 2 chapters a week over the course of 8 weeks. It completes the entire book. And then for anybody that joins CHIPS the second time around, if they're brand new, they read it. And we spend 5-6 minutes each week just having a few people that have never, that have read it for the first time, just share what they got out of it. So we basically have the people inside of CHIPS spend 5 or 6 minutes, maybe 3 or 4 of them, and just share the distinctions that they got from it. So they're basically training the brand new people that are reading Tribal Leadership for the first time, are training the entire group on what they got from the book. So we only take up about 5 or 6 minutes out of the 1 hour.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, Jerry. Hi. Thank
Hi.
you so much. What stage is it when it's you're great and I'm not? What's that?
It's stage 3, and there's a lot of stage 3, and
Oh,
and
you're great. And I'm not.
well,
Okay.
I don't know what that is. That's some kind of Stanford stage 7 or something. I don't know what they call that.
Anyway, you're great, Jerry. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Were there any other questions? I mean, you guys, when I come up there, Leslie, we're going to go into this thing in depth. We're going to go into Wellness Workshop, Health Coach University, CHIPS. I mean, we're going to really cover this stuff, but I'm just telling you guys, I think there are going to be some great DMOs that come and go, and I think we should take them and embrace them. And I think there's going to be some great DMOs that have already come and gone. I don't ever think that face-to-face is going to go away, and it's brought our group so tight and so close together, and their confidence has just gone through the roof. So
yeah, I can see it, and I know that we're kind of right. We've got some frustrations going here, and so a couple of people have dropped out, but I really feel encouraged by you saying that all these things are normal, and that you're still getting people showing up that were invited in the first 3 or 4 or the first your first go round. So thank you so much. So for everybody else, Jerry Graham and Mona Kazans are going to be coming to Denver September 25th. We're starting Thursday, September 25th at 1 p.m. All right. And then it's going to Sunday afternoon, Sunday the 29th. And we've got people, Jerry, you can tell, he does tell it like it is. It's very, very clear. He's going to be going through the structures and the processes and all the things that have led to the success that they have had out there. And, I'm just so appreciative that you're willing to share all of that. And so some of our team was out to your club and, just loved, we're already implementing a lot of the ideas that they learned there. But what's cool is that we're going to, for example, Jerry and his team do a wellness workshop, which would that be like an HOM used to be, Jerry?
it's a softer version of an HOM that you can invite anyone to, and the likelihood of them coming back the next week is very high.
Okay, great. So for example, on Thursday afternoon, we're going to go through all the structures, including the wellness workshop. We'll learn exactly how to do the wellness workshop. And then Thursday night, we will actually have a wellness workshop. And that will be an opportunity where all of you will be able to invite people to that. That will be one of the things that you can invite people to. So we're going to do like tell, show, try, do all weekend long, which is going to be very powerful. And then, of course, we're going to have Mona Kazans, who's the personal development and guru. Could you speak a little bit about the impact that Monica has had on the team out there, Jerry?
Yeah, I think it's the balance of the two. First of all, nothing that we're doing in Redondo is brand new. This is stuff that Mark Hughes talked about 30 years ago. Nothing is brand new. But the second thing is Mona Kazans, she has a way of coaching people on things that I typically wouldn't be able to do. She's really good at coaching people on listening, sideline communication, self-awareness, how people show up, getting distractions out of the way, taking on personal life, getting people really clear that we're all going through the same thing. I mean, we all are terrified of public speaking. We're all terrified, of building our businesses and, doing face-to-face invites. She teaches things that I don't really feel I can teach. And the CHIPS program and the wellness workshop are more on the Herbalife side. They're more of teaching the basic fundamental foundational skills and getting everybody to get along inside of the business. And I think between the two programs, they really complement each other. I think back of how Jim Rohn and Mark Hughes just complemented each other so well. Mark couldn't do what Jim did, and Jim couldn't do what Mark did. But when you have those two people working together, I mean, that's why our company got off to such a great start. So she's going to be teaching you guys a lot of things about personal development skills. And the stuff that I'm going to be talking about is more about what happens at the local office and with new team members and things like that.
Okay, thank you. And I know that so many of your team out there has said if it wasn't for Monica, they can't imagine that they would have made it through the struggles that they've had without quitting, and that they just feel like a completely different person from when they joined the company. So we're really excited to have her out here. And for those of you who haven't made your reservations for that, you know, the training itself is free. But and
Wow.
yeah,
That's amazing.
Pardon me? Should I
That's amazing that it's free.
Maybe I should charge. But anyway, we've got people coming from Canada, from Brazil, from Australia, from the Philippines. We've got people coming from the United Kingdom, the Netherlands, Spain. For those of you who are on the TIP team in Europe, that is the same weekend as the extravaganza in Prague, so I highly recommend you go to that. I know that there are a couple of people that really wanted to learn this methodology and are coming to this, but I would recommend you go to the Prague extravaganza. So having said that, we've got a really special rate at a hotel down the street. Those of you who were here last year, you know it's walking distance. But we're going to lose our special rate if you don't book within the next week, I believe it is. Oh, and actually, they have to have a list tomorrow, so you've got to make your bookings for those of you who are coming from out of town. So please do that ASAP. Now, regarding our next TIP program, we'll announce when the next one is going to start. But in the meantime, you know what you need to do. I would highly recommend that you form accountability groups and keep doing what you're doing, keep your gauges, keep everything on track so that you don't lose any momentum in your business. And we're really excited to start the next one with the learnings that we've had from you, Jerry, and we appreciate so much that that you've taken the time. Say hi to Kimberly. You guys go out and have some fun, okay?
All right, we're about to head to dinner. Thank you guys for having us on. We're looking forward to seeing you guys in a month.
Okay, thanks a lot, Jerry. Okay, I'd like to welcome Jody up, and I want to thank Jody publicly because I haven't been able to be on this for the last couple of weeks because I've been on all these vacations, no internet service on the boat for a while. So Jody's really done a lot of work on this, and I appreciate it. So we're going to turn over to the part of our program where you report your numbers. So please help me welcome up Jody Pulot.
Hey everybody. So we're gonna do something a little bit different tonight, and I haven't prepped anyway. I just decided that in my chair. So the people that are here in Denver, I would like all of you to come up, and you can still do your reporting, the reporters that's doing the numbers, but I'd like to hear from everyone just like something that you learned or something you accomplished during this 5-week program that you didn't think you'd be able to do, or something that really surprised you during this 5 weeks, okay? A breakthrough moment or something. I'd like to hear from all of you. So rather than have all of you line up, let's just do it by row. So let's start with the front row and come on up. All right. No, well, we'll do the front. We'll do these people here, everybody. Okay. And if you're a reporter, you can report your numbers. Okay. But I'd also like to hear from the non-reporters.
Just what I learned in the last 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll report my numbers first. I'm Roxanne. Maria got 18 invites. Gregoria got 28. I got 34. And Caitlin McGahee got 15 for a total of 95. I would say the last 5 weeks for me has definitely taught me the reason why I'm in this business. Really getting comfortable with my why and just knowing that every person I met, there was a need for me being out there. Kind of what Jerry was saying, like the social media aspect of things was kind of fizzling out. And when I started meeting people face to face, I was starting to be more filled up personally, and it made it easier every day to talk to people from that perspective. And that to me meant a lot more than just sitting behind a computer, inviting people from the comfort of my own home and getting out of my comfort zone so I can encourage them to get out of their comfort zone and maybe become healthier and join our community as well.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead and give your numbers and then.
Okay, my numbers are on the screen here because I didn't write them down. They're on my gauge sheet, but we were asked to share our overall, also our number of wellness profiles that we've had, our number of new clients and new members over the last 5 weeks also. And so total for myself of 190 invites over the last 5 weeks, and 19 profiles, plus some extras I'm not counting when I was in Leadville because it was, all in one space at one time. And then 11 new clients and 3 new members that came out of it. And for me, the biggest learning was a pretty harsh realization that I don't think I was doing the Herbalife business before. Because Herbalife is about simplicity and duplicatability. And I like to do things, big and go crazy, but it's not always something that everyone can do. So therefore, if it's not something everyone can do, it's not doing the Herbalife business. So no matter what my own success, if my team can't succeed, then I'm not going to be anywhere. And so for me, that was huge. And then tribal leadership was like a big wake-up call as to times that I've been in stage 2 and 3 and what that also means to our team and just to everyone in my life and, my family, my wife. And so that is another big thing for me. Just I've gone through the book now so many times. It's crazy because I also have it on the audio version. So I've like 6 times now. It's like, I love that book, but it's that really meant a huge amount to me. So I'm very grateful for that.
Okay, I can only report my numbers. I'm the only one on my team. Here.
You're the best.
Woo! So David was our leader. For me, the whole 5 weeks, I did a total of 99, which I did 10 wellness evaluations, got 7 new clients and 1 new member and 1 new business builder.
Yeah.
And I never would have got those clients had I not gone out of my comfort zone. Because for me, I realized I got to where I am with my inner circle. And so I was probably going to stay where I was if I stayed in my inner circle. So that whole forcing you out of your comfort zone and forcing you to strike up conversations, I'm still not comfortable with it because I feel like, I'm forcing it. And so I've learned that it doesn't benefit me if I force it and if I just make it comfortable and natural. So I'm still working on that. That's great.
Yay.
That's it. I'm excited for the next round. Yeah.
Hi everyone, I'm Brenda Complano and I'm not a leader. Somebody else is my program leader tip. But what I was broken moment is mostly talking here to all of you guys, believe it or not. It's also face to face. I remember handing out to a person and she even looked at me like, why are you shaking? I'm like, it's my first time. Just looking there. One of them, I haven't had a funny experience with. One of them was like, are you gonna sell me? I'm like, I'm not selling you, I'm just inviting. Why people think of it? Like, well, in that case, I'm in. Well, I also had another broken moment. It was when my numbers started to go low. And then suddenly, I just feel like, okay, I'm doing something bad or horrible. I need somebody to shadow me. But once the days passed by, it was kind of amazing how it kind of picked up. Like it just went back through, played the ball. I guess it just rolled to a bigger dice number. And another breaking through, which I thought was really amazing, is that when I started talking with people, it just kept on opening up more and more. And it's kind of just like jumping through in a pond. It's like either you fall, you have to learn how to swim.
Yeah. Good.
Whew, all right, I'm nervous. All right, so I'm Kevin. I'll report my team's numbers first. So for the whole 5 weeks, I did 175 invites, 17 wellness profiles, and 10 new clients. Tiffany did 120 total invites, 10 wellness profiles, and 1 new client. Alex did 136 invites, 10 wellness profiles, and 4 new clients. And Brenda, who we just heard from, did 165 invites, 8 wellness profiles, and 6 new clients. And when I totaled them all up, it was really cool to see that we did a total of 596 invites in 5 weeks. That's pretty amazing. So for me personally, kind of like Scott, I had a lot of realizations. I'm a global expansion team member, and I realized that, I have a team, and I got to where I am because of social media and from them duplicating when I was excited. And that was at the very beginning. So I kind of realized I wasn't doing the business like you're supposed to. You're supposed to talk to people. You're supposed to build a community. And someone once told me, when you have a team, they do half of what you do. And it kind of shed some light on some things. So it really just helped me define my leadership and what I need to do. It's not about the team. It's about what I do. They'll follow. And if you don't have a team yet, like, set the bar high, because people will do what you do. So to get uncomfortable and to realize that, I wasn't going to say it, but I realized I was scared. I was like, well, I'm not scared. And if someone would have told me I was scared at the beginning of this, I would have said, no, I'm not. Like, I've been through so much, so I'm not scared. But to really talk to strangers and do something different out of your comfort zone, for one, I was scared, and for two, I didn't know how to do it. So that's hard to say too. It's a humbling experience when you don't know how to do something, and then you're forced to do it. You're confronted with it. So to be confronted with that, and the fact that I was scared, to really be motivated by everyone, even the people I've never met in the different countries, to see you on the tips page and then to see all you guys, like, the room has shrunk, but to look around and see everyone, I get looked at as a leader a lot, but it's inspiring to be around people who are all doing the same thing for the same reason. So for me, it was a humbling experience, and I feel more like a part of the team, and more like I'm a part of the overall mission. So it's awesome.
Hi everyone, I'm Maria. I had my numbers already reported. So a breakthrough that I've experienced through this 5 weeks is I realized the importance of prepping, and prepping in all areas of your life. That's prepping your food for the week. It's prepping, your mind frame. When are your windows of opportunity? For me, I work a full-time job. I work 3 part-time jobs, so I really have to work those windows of opportunity, and they tend to be small. But in order to get that face-to-face time, which is the most valuable time that I feel you can get from somebody, it's really planning that ahead is what's really helped me on this journey.
Hi, my name's Tiffany. My breakthrough moment, honestly, has been just within myself. My confidence level has been so high, just talking with people. And personally, I'm horrible with like Facebook and all that. So I actually like talking to people. I can't stop talking now. And I just recently came back from Chicago from a dental convention, and my mom was like, I have never seen you so confident talking to so many people. Like, I was wearing my Herbalife gear. I was just like so pumped up to be a part of something that makes me feel good for the first time in a really long time. So honestly, balancing work with this has been a really big struggle in my life, but I'm trying to figure out what's the most important thing for me right now, and that is my own health, my own confidence. When people see you confident, I feel like people actually are like, wow, I really want to do what she's doing, or I want to be a part of what she's doing. So I feel like within myself, that's been my breakthrough. So.
Hi, I'm Alex. I also already had my numbers read by Kevin. For me, this was not easy by any means. I know Jody knows a lot about that. I didn't even know if I wanted to join the TIPS program. When I first heard about it, it was something that I did not want to do because I have a really hard time talking to people. Even being up here is like making me really super nervous. just talking in front of you guys. But the first day after our first meeting, I saw someone sitting right outside of our nutrition club on the bench out there. And I was like, Jody, should I go talk to him? What should I do? And she pretty much had to push me out the door to go talk to him. But I mean, I'm really glad she did. Before I was making so many excuses as to why I couldn't do invites, and pretty much every excuse in the book. And I still make excuses, but I have to kind of talk myself into doing it and reasons why I should do it and why I can. And like Roxanne was saying, remembering what my why is and why I'm here, and that I'm here to change people's lives. And that was kind of my biggest thing, is making less excuses and having more action behind my words.
Great. Hi, I'm Christy Cleater. I was the leader of my group. And so this week I did 9 invites. I had, through the whole thing, I had 3 wellness evaluations, 0 clients and 0 members, but I got like 3 clients from my friends and people that I work with. So I feel like that was kind of residual. Let's see, Silver had 14 invites, 4 wellness evaluations, and 3 new clients, and 0 members. Marcus had 5 invites this week. I don't know how many evals, 3 clients and 3 members. Jessica this week had 10 invites, 2 evals, and no clients or no members. And so my learning from this is that I just learned a lot about myself. Just kind of, I never really did any personal development before this, and I just know that if I do that in the morning, I have such a better day. I've really gotten out of my comfort zone talking to people, and I've just had more of a vision of what I want to do with my life now. I feel like I was kind of floating around now, and I feel like I have more of a direction.
Hi everyone, I'm Gregorio. Roxanne reported my numbers. Kind of similar to Christy, I was unsure, as a recent college grad, I wasn't really sure where my life was going. I had a lot of personal issues going on. So I took on a lot on developing personally, giving me a sense of who I am, and giving me a little bit more faith of paying towards the future.
Hello everyone, my name is Victor. Only Scott was part of my group that's here today. As far as for me personally, throughout the whole 5 weeks, I had 144 contacts, 15 wellness profiles, 9 new clients, 1 new member, and then 2 that promised that they're going to sign up tomorrow. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. As far as for me, personal breakthrough moment, it's pretty personal, but you guys are my family, and I feel like I can share it with you. I'm currently going through divorce, which has been the hardest thing that I probably ever had to go through. And throughout the whole 5 weeks, I wanted to give up and I wanted to give in. I have nothing. Talking to Kevin has been probably one of the brightest moments of my day anytime I get to speak to him, because he never lets me give up. And he's not even my upline, he's just a friend. And for me, it's just wanting to wake up every day, get to meet new people, and just say, hey, you know, let's get together, let's have a good time, let's meet in an environment where we don't have to worry about our problems, we don't have to worry about our issues. All we can be is be real, we can be ourselves, and we can love one another. Even when you don't feel like you can love yourself, you can always love somebody else. So that's my breakthrough moment. Thank you guys.
That's when you should have gone last. You knew it too. I'm Jessica, and my numbers were reported, and I would say my biggest breakthrough, this is gonna sound terrible, but is how much I suck. Just suck. So, I mean, I thought I was pretty badass, not gonna lie, as far as what I have in my inner circle, but trying to juggle this program and be committed
has shown me exactly all the things I'm doing wrong, and probably the how important it is to work harder on myself than anything else. And so I don't really feel good about how it all went, but I have a choice to either to totally really believe I suck and stay there, or take what I learned from it and use it going forward. So that was, I guess, looking at myself was a big breakthrough. Great.
Okay, a few of you on Facebook told me you'd be reporting, and then I kind of guessed on a couple others, so I might be wrong, but we're going to start with Lena. There she is. Hey, Lena.
Hold on 1 second, sorry.
Our group this week was 150.
Yeah, I'm sorry, you were muted, so you can start over, please. Sorry.
Okay. Okay, so Deborah Lee had a total of 48 invites this week. JT had 11. Michael Bernenriga had 36. Sam had 2. Michael Andre had 3. Myself, I had 23. Our total group had a total of 150 invites this week. And Deborah Lee had 46 wellness profiles. She had 40 new clients, and she signed up two new members in the 5 weeks. And she had a total of 139 invites in the 5 weeks. JT had 20 Facebook recruiting ads and 5 wellness evaluations. And what she got from Tip is she shared that it's making her more accountable and focused on her numbers for her business. Michael Berlin-Riga had 3 wellness profiles. He had 11 first-time guests coming into the club, and where he offered them, he prepared a free healthy meal for them. He had 2 new clients, 1 new member, and he had a total of 151 invites in the 5 weeks. His breakthrough moment was that he was able to master the strength and ability to invite people face to face and having them attend our Fit Club while providing them with a great experience. Sam had a total of 49 invites in the 5 weeks. He had 1 wellness evaluation and no customers of yet. But his breakthrough moment was personally to him because he says he has to step up his game, and he has to push himself beyond his limits. And it's a real challenge to complete those face-to-face invites initially, but he says he has to step it up and break free from these self-imposed fears that are going on. And so I know he's going to make it. I know he's going to make it. And Michael Andre, he shares he had actually 4 new clients but he says that these clients were not from the invites and 5 wellness evaluations. And myself, I had a total of 138 invites, but I had from those 138, I had 3 people that were referred, and I had 16 follow-ups, great follow-ups where I had 5 wellness profiles. 3 people joined the Fit Camp already that we started this week, and 11 are coming in next week. And I've had 7 new clients, and that's it.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, Susan Lang. All right, Susan.
Hi there. Okay, wait, Roseanne, don't click. Okay, I'm here with Roseanne, and let's see. So for this week, Victor had 29. Roseanne had 16. I had 3. And last week, Duraval had 500 invites and a new customer. So we had a total of 48 from last week. Total overall over the period of the 5 weeks, Roseanne had 116 invites. She had 7 new customers. She had 3 new members, and 2 of those were VIP. Over the 5 weeks, I had 3 new distributors, 2 new customers, and 2 of those were VIPs. And the month's not over yet, so the month's not over yet. And Dorival had 6 new customers, a new supervisor, and Dorival's second cut of Get Team for Dorival, which is fantastic. Woohoo! Yeah, that's great. And I wanted to also say for Victor, he was so excited in the message that he had a $480 royalty, so that was wonderful. And the biggest breakthrough, I asked Roseanne, my upline, her biggest breakthrough was to be committed to get out of her home and her club before noon every day, and that was big. She stayed committed to that. And for myself, on top of keeping this group together and finishing Tribal Leadership, I started some other books in the process. I also started a full-time job that works 10 to 12-hour days, and I'm a single parent. And on top of that, Roseanne, I was a leader for a seminar for over 100 people that had massive breakthroughs in their life, and Roseanne was on my team there. Yay. And so just so great overall.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Your Ben. There's Dom. Right there. All right.
Hi everyone, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello.
Great. And on my team for this week, Francis had 37 numbers, Susie had 45, Daniel had 7, and Ajagi and I, we had 39 numbers. And from the whole 6-week program, 5 weeks program, we had a total of, for Francis, a total of 119 numbers. And from that, he did 3 wellness profile, got 1 customer and 1 new member. For Susie, for the whole 5 weeks, she had 184 numbers, got 3 wellness profile done, and had 4 customers and 1 new member. And for Daniel, for the whole 5 weeks, he had 44 numbers, got 4 wellness profile, 3 new customers, and 0 member. And for us, Ajagi and I, for the whole 5 weeks, we got 181 numbers, did 16 wellness profile, and got 6 new customers and 1 member. And the breakthrough is like to create the momentum, we have to build, to be consistent through the 4 weeks, and then we could see results. It's like the law of accumulation. And for things to change, you have to change, and sometimes you have to sacrifice things, and you have to be aware of that. And to get results, you have absolutely to get out of your comfort zone.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome.
I saw that Lucy reported some numbers online. Lucy Hamlet. You want to report your numbers, Lucy?
Yes, sure. I have the numbers for this week. And it seems like I did not understand what was required, so I don't have everybody's total numbers. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
That's fine.
Okay. So just very quickly, Rose Morinello did this week, again, 15 invites. Jean did 3, and she got 1 client from the previous week's invites. And again, this is just from last week. Marie did 5 invites. Jean did 3 invites. It was John who had one Facebook invite, and then earned one client from the previous week's face-to-face invite. And then I had 10 invites. So far, no clients. A lot of great conversations, but no clients or wellness evals yet. But I'm hoping for that explosion that is promised. And the breakthrough, I think I can speak personally, is really the difficulty of getting out of the comfort zone and doing the face-to-face. I'm great with talking to groups of people, but recognizing that I'm not really great at sort of just going up to people and starting that one-on-one. It was a really challenging thing for me, but there was growth in recognizing that difficulty and sort of trying to push through it. So, and wanting to do better. That was really big for me.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for this program. It's really sort of, I think all of us have gotten so much from it. So thank you to the team for putting it together.
Okay, so I just want to remind you guys that it has only been 5 weeks, so keep the follow-up with everyone you've talked to already. You know, don't give up on them. Just keep inviting them to new things that you're doing. And that's really, really important. And now that we're going to take a little bit of a break in the TIP program, it doesn't mean you want to take a break in your invites. And it doesn't mean you want to take a break in your gauges. Okay, so those of you that continue full force going ahead, you're going to have that momentum building in 90 days. Those of you that take a break, what's going to happen is not only are you not going to have that same momentum, but you're actually going to be starting over. Okay, so you don't want to lose what you've already started. You want to keep that follow-up, and you want to keep the invites going to keep that funnel, because if you stop, it's like drying up, and it's like, you know, we talked about that train getting out of the track a week or so ago. You're going to be starting that all over, and I don't think you want to do that. So I'm really proud of all of you. You've done so amazing and gotten out of your comfort zone. I know in the beginning, many of you didn't think you could do this at all, so I'm really, really proud of you. Leslie, do you want to say anything else?
Just to add to that, we are really proud of you guys, and don't stop doing what you're doing. Please, if you're coming to Denver, which we do encourage everybody to do it in September, don't forget to book your hotel rooms by tomorrow. We'll send out, I think we've sent the flyer to everybody. If you, yeah, we'll put it out again on Facebook on the TIP program page. Has it already gone out there? Okay, we'll put it on the TIP program page just so everybody has that for tomorrow. And really great to getting to know a lot of you a lot better. There's some of you I've never met before, and it was fun to hear you. And we'll see you all next time. We'll communicate with you and let you know when the next program is starting. Good night, everybody.
Night.
Thank you, Leslie.
Thank you.
Thank you.